This is Rogue Wing, Coraline, or Helen RD over at Starship Modeler. Welcome to the workshop. Okay, we're back at work on the Black Widows. A couple things been added to the taken care of list. Now, in the cockpits, I ran into a problem with the kit supplied control panel. Namely, it had what I considered at the time to be way too long a lead. Well, it turned out that lead was supposed to run from the canopy, or from the spot between the pilot's legs up into the dome here. Well, I'd cut the lead off, which meant my control panels weren't going to reach that far. So what I did in all three cockpits is I took some Aves epoxy sculpt and filled the gap. I've since gone in and painted up all three cockpits in gray primer and just given them a black wash for detail. I've also gone in with a coat of Future to seal the cockpits. Then we move over here. Hey, good, it's working. I apologize for the fact that it's kind of sideways, but brings the ladies in question into focus. At least I'm fairly sure they're ladies. There we go. What I've done here basically is I've taken some N-scale seated figures, painted them up with some basic flight suits and helmets, given them a coat of Future, and they're waiting to be inserted into the cockpits. I apologize for the lack of detail painting on those, but let's face it, each of those ladies is only about half an inch tall, so you're not going to get a lot of detail on that. At this point, I'm waiting for the Future to cure up. Then I will get the ladies into the cockpits, get the canopies glued down, mask canopies off, and then it'll be time to seriously start painting. Greetings from the paint booth. Yes, I said paint booth. What we've got the rudders and the ships themselves all primered. Now, ironically, though this is the same gray I usually use from the rattle can, as you can tell from the lines on the cardboard, I actually decanted some of it to use in the airbrush. Once this has had a chance to cure, I'll go in, do the bottoms in the light gray, and then hit the top with my signature color coat. But that's where we're sitting at the moment. Okay, primer coat's dry. So we slide over, and we now have three birds, apologizing for the shaky cam, we now have three birds with their light gray underbelly. I'm going to let this dry up, and then, as I said last time, it's time for my signature color on the top, as well as on those. Stay tuned. Alright, we're off shaky cam and out of the spray booth because, at least for a while now, we are done with painting, at least for a bit. At least as far as the airbrush is concerned anyway. At this point, as you can see, I've got the rudders in place on all three aircraft now. And they all have their lovely main color of, say it with me folks, Testors Graphite Dust. Yeah, I admit I overuse that color tremendously. Now there is one flaw on this plane. It's a little dot of paint right there. But I think I'm going to turn that into like a lead flight beacon and take advantage of the fact it popped in there. Now, undersides are still light gray, and my trick of leaving the rudders for last worked wonders, because the rest of the bottom of the plane is still light gray. Okay, at this point I've got some detail paint to do. I'll probably go in and hit the thrusters with a wash, and I've still got to paint the wheels. I'll probably put a wash over the landing gear and on the intakes. But once I get that little bit done, it'll be time to hit this thing with a coat of these things with a coat of future, and put some decals on. But detail paint comes first. Well, so much for the idea of this being a quick build. Been quite a while since the last segment was shot. I'll apologize if I repeat anything I said in it. At this point, I do actually have the build done. All three birds have their markings. Taking the masking off the canopies. Biggest problem I had during the course of the last couple of weeks was the decals. This is probably the worst run of luck with my custom decals I've had pretty much since I started doing them. The US insignia, none of them wanted to lay down right. In fact, all of these were applied what you would call sticky side up, because they kept wanting to curl the other way. But I've got the Omega 7 markings in place, as well as the US insignia on the wings and on the fuselage. As I said, I've masked and I'll unmask the canopies. Gone in and dry brushed the exhausts with Vallejo smoke. All in all, I'm still fairly happy with how they turned out. I mean, these are actually some pretty sharp looking little birds. In fact, I want to do a little quick scale comparison. Let me take the camera off and grab the lead bird here. And we'll go over, trip over everything. That's the 1/144th Changewind 1 as she was done quite a while ago, although I have done a few touch-ups on her. That's the F-23. To scale with her. F-23 is about the same size, maybe slightly larger than an F-8 or F-15, and as you can see, easily dwarfed by Changewind 1. But let me take this back over to the base. The base I made for it, I admit, isn't anything spectacular. I took some Tamiya brick texture, put it on a sheet backer, and spray painted it black. I just basically wanted something I could lay all three birds out on and give you an idea how they look. Now, the fit on the kits was good. I'm not sure how the stock decals would have worked. Mostly because I didn't use any of them, because from the beginning I was going to do the Omega 7 theme with these. Now, build's done. I am overall happy with how it turned out. I'd still like to know what I did wrong with the decals this run, but I think part of it was a combination of the finish on the models and something in the way I was setting them down. Well, live and learn. Now, if you'll stay tuned, I'll put a few stills tail end to this, possibly including some with CW. But thanks for watching.